Have you ever had someone say a single sentence and your brain just folds? Your stomach drops, you feel cornered, your chest gets tight. That physical reaction happens before you even have time to decide what to do next. Manipulation relies on this immediate pressure to quietly drain your money, your time, and your relationships. It thrives in the seconds where you are too overwhelmed to see the pattern behind the words. This information is strictly for self-defense. If you use the tools in this video to play offensive mind games, that is on you. Our goal is to provide a shield, not a weapon. These tactics work by keeping you in an emotional fog. When you put a specific name to a pattern, like command voice or a reciprocity trap, you force your brain to switch from feeling the pressure to analyzing the technique. That shift in focus provides the distance needed to stop an automatic yes. Identifying these invisible behavioral loops buys you back the time needed to step out of a panicked reaction and back into calculated control. Let's look at the first move. The open loop hook hijacks your mental bandwidth by intentionally leaving a sentence unfinished. It sounds like, "I noticed something about you today," followed by silence. Your brain becomes an engine chasing closure, replaying the moment until you feel the need to beg for the answer. You stop the loop by demanding clarity immediately. Say it firmly. If it's important, tell me now. If not, let's drop it. This forces the manipulator to either deliver information or abandon the tactic. The rule is simple. Do not reward vague behavior with your attention. The moment you stop chasing the answer, the hook loses its grip on your time. Then there is the reciprocity trap. This is where someone offers a small, unsolicited favor, like a coffee or a ride, to create a disproportionate emotional debt. Later, when they ask for something unreasonable, you feel awkward saying no because of that earlier kindness. You can decline the hidden invoice without being rude. Your counterline is clean. "I appreciate it, but I can't." You acknowledge the gesture without accepting the obligation. Unsolicited kindness does not dictate your personal boundaries. Recognizing this distinction removes the pressure to trade your autonomy for a minor favor. To bypass your logic, manipulators often inflate minor issues into a false emergency. They use words like screwed or ruined to spike your heart rate, hoping you will agree to their solution just to make the panic stop. Snap back into control by forcing them to define the stakes. What's the actual risk right now? This question pulls the conversation out of the drama and back to reality. If fear doesn't work, they may use the label trap. This turns a simple request into a test of your character. If you say no, they call you selfish, too sensitive, or not a team player. Once a label is applied, your brain wants to defend your reputation. You start explaining your intentions or listing your past sacrifices to prove them wrong, which keeps you in a defensive position. Stop defending your character and focus on the request. Let's stick to the facts. What's be asked? This forces the manipulator to drop the emotional bait and talk about the actual task. Demanding factual details acts as a shield. When you refuse to argue about who you are, the manipulator has no choice but to deal with what you are willing to do. Command voice is a tactic that presents a request as a non-negotiable rule. By using a tone of absolute certainty and skipping please, the manipulator makes it feel like the decision has already been made for you. Break the momentum by asking, "Is that required or a request?" This forces them to admit whether they are stating a policy or simply expressing a preference. If you comply, you might face moving goalposts. This is the cycle of chronic catch-up, where success is never enough because the definition of good keeps shifting. You hit the deadline, and suddenly the issue is your tone. To freeze the target, you must demand a measurable finish line. Define done. Goalposts only move when the expectations are left vague and unwritten. Establishing fixed parameters early prevents the manipulator from moving the finish line. When you lock down the definitions, you stop the chase. Scarcity and absence is the sudden withdrawal of attention or approval. By going cold, the manipulator conditions you to work harder just to get back to a normal relationship. You might find yourself overthinking your tone or sending extra messages to earn a reply. This extra effort teaches the manipulator that pulling away is an effective way to control you. Instead of chasing, set the boundary. I need consistency. This signals that you value stable respect over intermittent approval. When respect is treated like a prize to be won, the only way to win is to stop playing. Match their energy once, and if they remain distant, step back. Every one of these tactics is designed to steal your time and clarity, so you react instead of decide. They rely on speed and emotional pressure to keep you from thinking. The moment you feel that drop in your stomach, use this 4-step system. Take 1 breath, count to 2, ask, "What's the ask?" Then pick your counterline, pause, and stop talking. You can find all 7 counterlines on the cheat sheet in the pinned comment. Keep it as a reference so you can deploy these responses the moment you feel the pressure. Real power is maintaining absolute internal control when the environment is designed to make you panic. When you remain calm, you deprive the manipulator of the emotional reaction they need to scare you. Calm is the ultimate defense.